Okay, Sigler.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Today's training for March the 25th of 2021. We're going to be going over our new radio systems, the portables and the mobiles. If you have any questions throughout the way, if you're watching this live on Zoom with us, please interrupt me, answer any questions that you may or may not have. I know we went over this a couple weeks ago, maybe a month. We've had a couple situations where people were on the wrong channels and stuff like that. So we just want to really go over everything and make sure everybody is squared away again with it. So again, if you have a question, please stop me and I will explain it the best that I can. So first we're going to start with the mobile radio or the portable radios, which is a Motorola APX 4000. So to turn it on, still the same as the old radios. Turn your volume on. And keys up. All right, so on your display now, all the radios have a display. It'll tell you what channel we're on. So what channel are we on? Somebody can you answer this?
7.
We're on channel 7, right? So remember, we always keep our portables on channel 7 at all times. That way we don't have to switch for a fire or anything like that. We can switch when it's a non-emergent or non-priority call back to 5. But if we're going to a fire or a trap job or something like that, we want to have them already on 7, ready to go. One less thing that the men and women need to worry about when they're going to a fire. So a couple of things we're just going to go over. Again, right here, tells you our channel and the unit it's assigned to. And then also down here, in case the battery dies, we have is the identifier to which rig the portable radio goes on. So right now, remember, this is just really the base until the new radio system gets up and going, which is going to be sometime late summer, early fall, if I was a betting person, since they are still having some issues with one of the radio towers and getting it approved. So very simple. The only thing we need to worry about right now is how to change our channels and what the channel the radio is going to turn on to and a couple of little features. So the mobile, when you turn it on, whatever channel, the portable itself, this system here, not the channel changer for your mic, but whatever channel this is on here is what channel the radio is going to turn on to. And remember, we want to keep that on channel 7. So if we turn it to dispatch, goes to channel 5, which is ZEP dispatch. So again, they took away the number. So this is just where it's something we're working with ECC on trying to get them to switch everything, but it's a slow process. And they are working on it. So channel 5 is ZEP dispatch. Channel 7 is ZEP ops. And the other channel that we're going to use is channel 3, which is Deerhead ops, which is here. Again, so if I turn this radio off and turn it back on, because my knob is on channel 3, it is going to turn on and go to channel 3. So that's why we want to make sure that we're on channel 7. So we can tell by here we're on 7, and we can tell by here we're on channel 7. So remember, if we get a structure fire in our area or north, we're going to be operating on ZEP ops. House fire south, Edinburgh south, we're going to be operating on Deerhead ops. So just remember that. So the easiest way to change these channels is, again, right here, or with the new system, we also have a channel changer here on your mic. So your mic, you can change your channel here.
Go ahead.
And we can also operate the channel from here so we can change the main radio. Again, whichever channel you touch the last is what channel it's going to be on. As you see, this is still on 7, but I changed the mic channel to 5. As you can see, the radio goes to channel 5. So whichever one of these two radio knobs you change last is what your active channel is. So if I change this again, you can see that it changes the channel on the radio. And so on channel 3, we go all the way back up to 7, and it goes to 7 with this knob never moving. So if you ever hear somebody talking, then you know it's not on your incident. If you look at your radio, you're going to see this little Z right here. That means scan. So there's several ways to take the scan off. This is the absolute easiest way and the only way you guys should be doing it, because any other way, it takes forever. if you look on the side here and you see this purple button right above your push to talk, if you click that button, it takes the scan off the radios. I went through and taken off all the scans for all the portables, but that button can accidentally get hit and turned back on very easily. So if you see that Z on your heads up display here, push that purple button to turn your scan off. Now you also can come here if we have to go to ZEP, government ZEP, in case there's 2 working structure fires in our area. So you can go zone up or zone down and switch over to government or fire and rescue. As you can see where it says right here, fire and rescue. If I push the zone down, it goes to the government channels. So you just have to figure out exactly which one we're going to. If we go to anyone, it's going to be government ZEP, which is right there. So, which is channel 4, which is not very easy to remember. So the easiest way is to remember is if they're going to tell you word for word to go to government ZEP, hit your zone button down or up, I'm sorry, to switch to government, and then turn your channel changer until you find the correct location. Very important if you ever have to do that, make sure you hit the zone button and switch it back so that it's fire and rescue when we get on the next call. Over here, these little buttons down here, push them all day long. They don't do anything. Now with the new radios, they can do things, and from my understanding, they might be programmed more for EMS. This top button, push it when you arrive at the actual patient. You know, they mark on the scene, but when they actually arrive beside the patient, they hit that and the radio system can record it. And then the bottom one is designed for you hit it once you drop the patient care at the hospital. You know, they mark out the hospital. Once they really give care to the hospital, they can hit that button and it will log it into the CAD system if they program it like that. And the only other button here that we need to worry about is our push to talk, which is normal right here. Just push it, key it up, your radio. And remember, with the repeaters that we have, you can't key it up and start talking automatically. You need to key it up, wait 2 to 3 seconds, and then start talking. So whenever you key it up in your head, go 1 1000, 2 1000, and then start talking whatever you're going to say. So let's say you get on a fire and you don't want the mic, which I don't ever know why you would want to take that off, but you can. It's just screw this off right here and pull your thing up, and then you can just have the radio. To put it back on, top little clips in, push it snug, screw the screw back in. That is an option if you don't like that and you want the just carry the radio, you can do that. Just make sure we don't lose the microphones because they are very expensive. So on the brush truck, we kept the clip on so that you can clip it to your wildland pants. All the other ones we took off because they do not fit into our radio holders with this clip on. So the brush truck and the serve are the only ones that have the clip on them. Everything else has been removed. Okay, now to our mic. The big, nice mics so we can see, we can find our push to talk a lot easier now. So button here, only thing it does is this right here. Lights up your screen. That's it. Push to talk to dispatch. And then here's our volume button. So if we hit it up, we can hear it's getting louder, right? If you hold it, it's just going to do it once and that's it. You have to click it down or click it up to increase or decrease your volume coming off of your microphone. On the radio and on the microphone, you'll see the orange buttons. They're called an EA button, emergency activation button. Right now, you can push this all day. It doesn't do anything at all. The new radio systems, when you push this, an alert will come up to dispatch and it'll flash and say brush 12 alpha is an emergency. And then that is where it's like a emergency where you need law enforcement right away. Right now you're at gunpoint or anything like that. So for right now, it does nothing. Once the new system's up and running, it'll work correctly. Over here, we have our channel changer, which we've already went over. And the only other thing on the mic is if we have a little light right here. If we hold it, turns on an LED flashlight. Hold it, turn it off. Again, hold it on, hold it off. Here, click it to activate your volume. Again, if you just hold it, it does it once, and that is it. So some of the batteries and some of the chargers, which we have, we'll go over here in a minute, they condition the batteries. Some do not condition the batteries. So the ones that are a bank charger, which are in the wagon and the rescue engine, are bank chargers, and they condition the batteries, which means it drains it all the way down and fills it all the way back up so that the battery doesn't gain a memory. It's individual chargers, which are in the rest of the rigs, do not do that. So whenever you are doing your truck checks, we're coming back from a call or anything like that, we look and we see that the orange and green light is blinking on the individual chargers. That means the battery needs to be switched out to one of the batteries that's in the bank charger. To switch out the battery, it's a little button here. Push it up, slide your battery down. Switch it out with the battery that's been in a bank charger. Put the battery back in here. Lock it in. Any questions on the portable radios before we go out here and go over the mobile radios?
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure, go ahead.
We got to remember that when you change a battery on the ones on the brush truck, is you put that clip on that battery that you put on there.
So to do that, switch the clip. It's a little button right here. It's really hard to see, I think. I don't know how good you guys can see it, but there's a button right there. You just push it up and the clip slides out, and then just slide it into the new battery that you switched out. Again, I don't know if you guys can see that little lock right there or not, but you just hook it, pull it straight out, then you can switch it.
Think you ought to go over each of the channels on the dial.
Sure, you can do that. So channel 1. So right now they do not activate voice, besides they say channel 1 when you first turn your radio on. So the new system, every time you change the channel, a voice will come across the microphone and it's going to say, you're on fire and rescue dispatch direct. You're on fire and rescue dispatch. That'll be in the new radios. For now, we don't have that. That's very nice, and it's a really good thing to have. That way you don't have to look, you can just listen. So fire and rescue Deerhead is used for who? Edinburgh South, correct. Channel 2, they really don't ever use, but they can. That's their direct channel. That's fire and rescue Deerhead dispatch direct. Channel 3, which is their ops channel for auto accidents, fires, or anything, which we might go to if we go in the ladder truck south or the engine south to Edinburgh. Fire and rescue Deerhead ops, channel 3, one of the major ones we need to remember. Channel 4 is the direct channel that if you're doing traffic control or something like that, you can be on that for southbound, which we're going to use channel 11, which we'll go over here in a second. But that's another option. So this, when you key up this, we can talk all day on it. It does not go to dispatch. It does not turn on the repeater. It just goes mobile radio to mobile radio, and that is it. Channel 5, which is ZEP dispatch, which is our main channel. That's the channel we're dispatched on. And please, guys, the things that we've been catching is people are marking up on channel 5 when we are given operations channel 7. So if we're dispatched for an auto accident, a house fire, something like that, any type of call, make sure you listen, because dispatch is going to go engine companies, so on, so on, so on. Operations will be on TAC channel 7. So remember, mark up, everything happens on 7. You don't talk on 5 until you come back in station. So if they say ops are on 7, we go directly to 7 and mark the rig up on channel 7, not on 5, and then switch to 7. Mark it up and do only what the operations channel is. So again, channel 7 is our ops channel. 8 is our direct channel, which we can talk, mobile radio to mobile radio back and forth without keying up the dispatch. Channel 9 is fire and rescue Fort Valley dispatch. 10 is fire and rescue dispatch direct. And then channel 11 is fire and rescue TAC direct. So this is the channel that we're going to be doing our traffic control and anything like that on. Channel 11 for traffic control. Cool. County interops channel 12, and then it's unprogrammed. So the main channels we're going to use are channel 3, Deerhead Ops. Channel 5, ZEP Dispatch. Channel 7, ZEP Ops. And then channel 11, Direct TAC Channel, or Fire and Rescue TAC Direct. Any other questions?
Sigler, are the new, when the new channels come out, is there going to be direct channels?
I am not sure how they have the banks set up or anything like that. I haven't seen anything on it lately at all. So I'm not sure how the banks are set up. When I say you muted me, Zach, but I'm not sure how they're going to have those set up. I haven't seen the last diagram of how they have the zones and the banks set up yet. So they might, I'm not sure. If they do, if they don't, they'll probably just have a channel that they're not going to listen to, and that can be our traffic control channel, which more to come when that comes out.
Yeah, because I didn't see that in any of those.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it, but it's like I said, it's been a while since I've looked at the channel layouts. Any other questions? All right, that's the mobile radio. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to walk out. To the rig. I'm going to show you both both charging stations that we have, as well as both of our go over the mobile radios in the rigs. So we're going to use a brush truck because the lighting's the best in this rig. Just give us 1 second to turn her on. All right, so we're gonna go over the mobile radios here real quick, and then we're gonna go over the chargers. That way it's nice and easy and flows good. So channels here are the exact same as they are in the mobile radio. So as long as you know your channels and remember them, you're good. So one thing, this here's the home button. So this is programmed to take you to channel 5. So if we change the channel and we're on the operations channel, which is channel 7, if you hold the home button, it takes you back to channel 5, which is programmed as the home button. If in case you ever forget or get lost to where you're at, hold the home button. It takes you back to channel 5. You can start over again. So again, here, the zone, which is right here, in case we need to go to government, is right here. How to select that. Again, you just come over, select it, and lock it in. We're not going to do that. We're back to fire and rescue, right? So you can change the channels by several different ways. So the easiest way is if you click your volume button, turn it to whatever channel we're going to, lock it in. Now you can also use your arrows here to change your channels, right, Jim?
Yes, sir.
So you can do that, or you can do it by using this. I like this. Some people like this. Totally up to whatever you guys like. Play around with it, figure out which one you like better.
You're sideways.
Yep. That better?
Yes.
Okay. So again, change your channel by here. Lock it in. Go back, lock it in. So again, this changes your volume. Now, to change your channels, again, you click your little knob here, if you choose to do it this way, and you see the green light, that means you can change the channel freely. And to lock it in, click it, and it goes back to white and lets you know that it's locked. Again, if you don't like that and you like this version here, you can use the arrows to change your channels as well. Again, it's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. But if you ever get confused on what channel you are because they're not numbered anymore, hold that home button. It'll take you back to channel 5 and you can start everything over again. So for dispatch to house fire, We're going to be on channel 7 if it's in our first area, right? We're going to change our channel to 7, and we're going to mark up from channel 7, not channel 5, and then switch over. So we need to make sure we're paying attention. Just reiterate that again, please, guys. EA button here again. Push it all day. It does absolutely nothing until the new radios are up and running. The scan feature, if it's on, I prefer it off. That way you guys are focused on only the channel that you're on. Some people like it. There's good and bad arguments. I see both sides. I keep it like this. Totally up to whichever you all want to do. So that is really it for the mobile radios. They are really, really simple, and you can change your brightness right here. This little button right here. I have them all set as the brightest they go right now, so it's easier to see. But if it's too bright for you at nighttime, you can change it. The only thing I ask is please change it back to the brightest settings, which you can tell the brightest setting is when it gets to right there and it goes off. And you hit it again, that's the brightest setting. Please take it and put it back on that one if you change the brightness due to distracting you or hurting your eyes while you're driving.
Hey, Aaron,
Yes, ma'am.
on the EA button, when that's put in service, and let's say, I don't know, whatever you said we might have, if you push that, does it just go to dispatch as an alert and we need help, or what does that really do?
So there's possibly 2 options that they're throwing around. The one thing, it'll definitely send an alert and it'll go across their computer screen and it'll say brush 12 is an emergency situation. And dispatch has to ask dispatch to brush 12, confirm or deny your signal 1, which is an EA activation, saying it's the same thing as a signal 1. So they'll ask you to confirm or deny. If you deny it, once this is up and running, I can teach you how to reset it. But then they're also going to ask you, and it's going to flash across the screen. Another option is that they're playing around with that some other departments do is when this button's hit on here or on the mobile radio, it automatically locks the channel out for 5 seconds and opens your mic up. So if you accidentally hit that and then you say a cuss word, everybody in the world on scanner land and on the radios are going to hear it. So if the button's ever hit, it opens the channel. That's one thing they're talking about doing. I don't know where they've landed on that yet, because again, if you accidentally hit it and some inappropriate words get put across the air, then we could get in trouble by the FAA. So I don't know what they've landed on.
Well, I still don't understand if somebody's standing there with a gun to your head, which I hope doesn't happen. How can you answer dispatch?
So the way
Okay.
the way I train guys at work to do this is if we're ever in a situation like that and somebody's like, you need to turn your radio off, be like, sir, ma'am, I need to hit this button. I need to let dispatch know that I'm going to turn my radio off. They're going to ask me to confirm or deny signal 1, which means that I'm turning my radio off. So I'm just going to hit this, let them know, and we're fine. Okay, sir? So then you hit that, you turn your radio off. That's one way we can do it like that. You just hit it, in a nonchalant, the best way you can. And hopefully that it gets put across. And if you don't answer it, it's just they should have a policy and a procedure that if you don't answer the EA, then you should be getting tons of law enforcement agencies to come out and check.
Chief, will that also be used for Mayday?
Yes. So ever in a Mayday situation, call your Mayday, you hit that button to get an open mic. That way, you're calling your Mayday. You hit that button, Mayday, 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 wagon, Mayday, Mayday, command. That'll make sure dispatch urgency and also give you the air if they do if they opt to open up the microphone for 5 seconds. Again, that's all. What if when this goes active? It could be summer, it could be fall, and I don't know where they've chosen what their policies are going to be for how the button's going to work exactly. Does that answer your question, Phyllis?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's no way. It's really, if you're ever in a situation like that, you got to improvise and do what you can to get that button hit and, let ECC know that we're in an emergency and we need help right now. So you just kind of, you can't say the way you're going to be different the next time.
Hey, Aaron, it's Josh.
Yeah, buddy, go ahead.
Do we as Woodstock have any say on that, or are we allowed to provide input to whoever makes that final decision?
Yeah, so that'll come up in chiefs and captains, and there's also
Okay.
a nations group
Okay.
to be asking input. Like I said, they haven't done anything with it for a while because the new market are still up all of the upgrades, so they that could import before we even get that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Anything else on the radios?
What is both the null and the next button?
So for now, they really don't do anything. And the next button is this, where you can change your zone down. Or your just changes that to where you can change your zone like we did a second ago. So we really don't need to use that. And then next, where you can get some information about the radio, and then if you hit next again, it just brings you right back. So I mean, these really don't do anything right now. Once the new systems here, they'll actually be useful and have different uses to them. Right now, they're just there to look pretty.
And the little asterisk button? Oh, that's the light. Never mind.
That's the light.
Yep.
Sigler, how do you change the zones again?
So change the zone as we come here to the zone. So let's say we have 2 working fires in Woodstock, Tomsbrook, whatever. They give us operations on ZEP government. So we're going to change our zone. We're going to hit the zone button. We're going to unlock our radio. Go down here to where it's selected government. Lock in. Hit select. Now with changing it here with the buttons, you'll hit zone. Hit up. Select. A little bit change the zones by using the buttons, then over the mic. But I like changing the channels here, but the zones here. So again, if I want to change the zone to government, government ZEP. And then again, you just have to find the correct channel that we're going to be operating on. So to change it back, hold that home button. It'll take you right back to the same fire and rescue zone and channel 5. So you really have to change the zone to get to it. And when you're coming home, just hold that home button, which is so easy, and it'll just bring you right back over. And again, the mics are very, very the same as the other ones. The only thing is I went through and added a magnet clip, but you come over here a little bit. Again, so just magnets in there, so there's no more sliding. So just pick it straight up to operate your magnet and leave it right there. Any other questions on that?
Do all the radios have Page and Rockingham in them?
Yep.
But the walkies don't.
I'm not 100% sure on that. Give me 1 second. Let me check it right here while I got it in my hand. I don't think the portables do.
No, 1.
Nope, they have it in here. Yep, they're in here, Zach, in the portables.
All right. Thank you.
No, 1.
Any other questions on the radios, on the mobile or the portable radio? All right, so Butch is my cameraman here. He's going to help me out here. So Butch, come up here. Film me. So you see the little metal clip on the back here? That's how we hook it onto the radio, onto the antenna. Now be careful, because these antennas are GPS, so you cannot bend them. So there's an antenna in here. If you bend that, it's going to break the antenna, and then they are pretty expensive to replace. So be very gentle with the antennas. That's one thing I forgot to go over. So don't bend it, don't snap it or anything like that. Keep them nice and taken care of. Make sure they're on there tight. But the only thing we're going to use the antenna for is use little half circle ring over to hold your microphone. And then if you look back here, this is your individual single charger. So this is the one that does not condition the radio. So you see your connectors are back here for the back of your battery. So when you're locking this in, just make sure the radio is all the way back, locks in, and then make sure right here that your light is on. So solid green means it's 100% charged. If it's flashing green, means it's 90% charged. If it's flashing green and orange, it means the battery needs to be conditioned when we need to switch that out with a bank charger like we have on the wagon and or the rescue engine. Again, the brush truck has 2 radios in it now. The wagon has 5. The engine has 3. The rescue engine has 5, and the ladder truck has 5, and the serve has 1. And then myself and Zach have 1 as chief officers. And then we have 2 spares, which we are using as the captain's portables. However, if any of these radios go out of service, the captain's radios will be pulled to get the radios back on the rigs. All right, I'll steal the camera here from Mr. Butch. So now we're going to walk over and look at a bank charger. Sorry about the sound. You got it for a second. We're going to look at the wagons. Everybody here and see me good still?
Yes.
Yep.
All right,
Yes.
here's your bank charger. So when this works off of 12 volts. So this only charges, and these lights are only going to come on when the shoreline is plugged into the rig itself. So if we're coming down the road, these lights are not going to be on because it's not pulling power. The individual.
Ziggy,
Yes, sir.
the 110 volt. They only work on 110, not 12 volt. Sorry.
All right. Sorry, you're correct. 110. So these will only work there. And now your individual chargers will charge going down the road, but these will not, only when it's plugged in at the station. So if you ever get confused on what the lights mean, they're right here. Red's charging means it's below 90%. Flashing green means above 90%. And then red green means the battery is expired. Solid green charged. Yellow or orange, whatever you want to call that, means it's reconditioning the battery. Flashing red means the battery there's an error. Take it off, put it back in. And then the yellow green means it's charging and conditioning the battery at the same time. So again, we have bank chargers on the wagon and on the rescue engine. Everything else is individual chargers. So, are there any questions? Once this system turns off, give it a second. That way I can hear you guys better. All right. Anybody have any questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I have one. I'm
Go
just, okay, all the batteries will have to be conditioned at some time or another.
Yes, ma'am. That is correct.
Okay.
So
And that's
it's about
that-
every week.
Okay, so that's that green and orange when it's flashing like that.
Yes, ma'am. That means that they need to be taken out and put in a the batteries need to be switched and put over into a bank charger so that they can be conditioned.
Okay, thanks.
Now, also, we have two chargers right down here where the old charging banks used to be. And these two, they do condition the batteries. So if you're running low and you just want to take them out and throw them in here for a second, these will condition. And the county just told me the other day, I think it was a chiefs and captains meeting, that they're buying another bank charger for every station to help with all the conditioning batteries. So very, very shortly, we'll be getting another bank charger to put in here for helping with condition all the batteries. Anybody have any questions,
Yeah.
comments, concerns? Yes,
I
sir.
think I think I'm right in saying that once we go to the new radio system, that voice that you hear, it says zone 1, is what the voice will say when you're on the channel, correct?
Yeah, so
So get used to that lady.
yep. So they use a computer program that'll actually, they just input the words, and then that computer program, which is a lady's voice, so will say every channel. So if it's fire and rescue dispatch, it'll say, when you turn your radio on, it'll say fire and rescue dispatch.
Yeah, you'll get to hear that lady's voice more often.
Every time you turn the radio on and or switch a channel, you'll hear it. That is correct. But again, we don't know exactly when that's going to be because of the new market tower issue. Anybody have any other questions? I'll just go, Phyllis, you're good. Phil, you asked Steve, you got anything, sir?
No, I'm good.
All right, who we got here? Zach,
I'm good.
Mr. Anthony,
I'm good.
Mr. Jim,
Thank you very much. I'm good.
Mr. Josh,
No, thank you.
and I think that's Bree is the one that's also on there. It doesn't have a name on it. It still says connecting. All right, guys,
The microphone.
girls, that is all I have on the radios. Again, get in here, just play with them. Please pay attention when we're dispatched to a call, what channel we need to go to. It makes us look good or makes us look bad if we go to the wrong channel. And again, we're the best department in the county, so the better we look, the more we can emphasize that we are the best. So again, just make sure we're paying attention to channel art. And I'm free. I can play with the radios with anybody. If you have any more questions, just give me a call.
You work tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, Zach,
Yeah,
was the town still working when you came through?
I didn't even look.
Okay.
Just to remind everybody, next Tuesday is the Chick-fil-A thing from 2 to 4. And Burner and Bug are heading out at 2:15 with probably the rescue engine. So if anybody wants to go out then with them.
I'm unavailable. I'll be at work.
You ain't working too hard.
Not on my new job. Nope.
All right, guys, you all have a great evening. Hopefully I won't have to see you tonight. We actually get some sleep.
Thank you. I appreciate that.